Hi everybody, this is Claire McKiernan here from True Potential Hypnotherapy, and as one of the organisers of Supportive Women in Business, as I might have mentioned to many of you, I was going to start doing some interviews with the ladies from our group. And the first interview we're going to do is with the lovely Natalie Hurdley, and she's going to tell us all about herself. So I'm going to put some questions to you, Natalie. So welcome, Natalie. Thank you for joining me. Shall we just get started? You happy for this?
Yes, let's go.
Brilliant. Let's just do it, shall we? So what I want in the first place, Natalie, is because we're going to bear in mind there might be some people watching this who don't know you at all, don't know anything about you. So you tell me a bit about, or tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Oh, God, where do I start? So I'm in Shropshire in the UK. So I'm not far from Claire. If you're local to Claire, then you're going to be local to me, which is cool. Beautiful part of the country. I work in fitness, so I'm a fitness and nutrition coach. I work internationally, so I've got clients all over the world. I've been working in fitness for over 15 years now. I started my business when I was 17 and just never gave up, just carried on going. I'm also a sports person myself. I grew up playing professional football for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Wow.
Please don't hold that against me. And now I compete for Team GB in women's powerlifting. I'm doing that at the moment. So I put my money where my mouth is.
And I didn't know that, Natalie. So that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's not something I talk about that much, to be honest.
No. And I just want to say something. You know, if you started when you were what, 17?
I started my business when I was 17, yeah.
You don't look that much older than that, to me anyway. You don't look much older than that now, Natalie. So whatever this fitness is, it does you good. That's all I can say.
Healthy life.
So how do you manage to work globally? So what are you, a personal fitness trainer, or what would you define yourself as if you were to give it a name, Natalie?
So really, I've always been a personal trainer. So a personal trainer is where you get one-to-one fitness sessions with somebody who's there with you, holding your hand, telling you what to do on a one-to-one or a one-to-two basis. That is what I would say I am. That's my background. That's what I've always done. And then when I was 29, I introduced nutrition coaching to my business.
Okay. Yeah. So you cover all areas now. So, and yeah. So something I found interesting, you said, because that was my sort of definition of a personal trainer. But you mentioned that you work globally. So how do you manage to do that?
Well, COVID hit, gyms got shut, and I thought I was just going to have a bit of time off, to be honest. I said to my husband, I said, do you know what? I'm really looking forward to having some time off. I'm going to do some self-development work. I'm going to, pick up my education again. And I'm going to actually have a bit of time for myself. And then the day after the gym's closed, phone goes, Nat, can you train me online? Nat, can you train me online? Nat, can you train? It's like, I know I need the money, but all right then. So carried on being there for my clients, carried on being there to pay my bills, and carried on running the business. And then as soon as people found out I was online and the gyms weren't going to reopen, they started contacting me from all over the world.
Oh, so it sort of escalated then. And before that, so had you done any of it online before that? No. So, and that's what I find interesting. So you must have had a little bit of a fear moment when somebody who you obviously knew because they were a client already, I take it, but they suddenly said to you, well, come train me online. You must have had that moment where you thought, well, how the hell am I going to do this?
It was with my regular clients. No, I didn't have that moment because I'd already been through the technique of everything with them. They already knew how to do what I wanted them to do. The worst thing about it was lack of equipment. Because they were used to having a whole gym of equipment to use. And the whole thing about it was, right, okay, you haven't got any equipment, or you've only got this little bit of equipment. So things are going to be a little bit more repetitive. So we're going to have to work around that, X, Y, Z. And then it was more taking on new people because of teaching them technique.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay. But go back a little bit though, because I think people might be a little bit interested in this. Is that whole, what I suppose what I'm getting at here is, prior to a year ago, hard to believe it's a year ago, not many people genuinely heard of Zoom. We're doing this on Zoom now, and I've got other things that I use, I do Facebook Live, stuff like that. But not many people, I mean, it's a household name. Zoom is like Google now. Everybody's heard of it. But prior to, well, still people who haven't, but nobody had heard of it. So had you already sussed how you were going to do it, I suppose?
I'm quite lucky because my husband works in IT.
Okay.
So he had asked me to go online previously.
Right.
And it's one of those things. Yeah, I'll have a look at it. And I just never did because I was too busy running a business.
Yeah.
And I said to him, look, my clients have said, can I do it online? What would you recommend? And he recommended Zoom.
Yeah. So that's how you did start with Zoom then?
I don't train everybody over Zoom. A lot of people phone me on WhatsApp video and FaceTime.
Okay, yeah, of course. I mean, I do, to be fair, I do use both of those myself, but I tend to, if it's going to be a longer thing, tend to use Zoom.
I leave it down to the client. Some people just don't like Zoom. They don't want to download Zoom. Yeah. So I just leave it up to them.
So it's what they're comfortable with, and you'll just go along with it. Yeah, but I think other people will find that interesting, because there's possibly people who are sitting there thinking, well, I don't really know how to do it, and you're showing. So we both offer a service, but mine's a lot of talking with people and doing techniques with them. But yours is actual moving about, and because I remember having a conversation with someone who. I think it might be somebody actually, but does a lot of dancing, and one thing she was really missing was dancing, and the person who did it just couldn't work out how they could do that online. So people are possibly struggling with that. So and there's such a lot of things, and it is about becoming a little bit experimental, I suppose, and thinking outside the box a bit with some things, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what the worst thing for me is, and it's the same, and you know what? It's never going to change, ever. The worst thing for me is the safety of the client. Yeah. So I'll explain myself. If I'm in a gym or anywhere physically with somebody, whether it's their house, their garden, the park, it doesn't matter. If something happens, I'm there and I can do something about it.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point.
If I'm there with them on Zoom, I don't even know where they live.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Because why? Like, we're talking now. If something happened to you, I don't know where you live.
No, that's a good point. And you wouldn't know who to call.
I can't phone an ambulance.
No.
So one of the things I learned really, really early on, I mean, obviously I look at people's medical anyway. One of the things I thought about really early on was, right, how am I going to explain to my client that because of their medical, we can only do this when there's somebody at home who I need to be able to phone.
Yeah.
Or I need their address to phone an ambulance.
Yeah, address to phone an ambulance, and a contact number of somebody who could get to them very quickly.
Yeah,
I would never have thought of that, Natalie, from your point of view.
I didn't at first. I didn't at first. I'll tell you what triggered it for me. What triggered it for me wasn't actually a medical thing. What triggered it for me was I trained through lockdown. I trained 3 pregnant women.
Wow.
And one of my ladies was sitting on a step, and she was 6 months pregnant at the time, and she laughed and she couldn't get out of the chair.
Wow.
But the reason she couldn't get out of the chair was because she laughed, and she fell back into this chair. And that moment when something goes into slow motion and you're thinking, oh my God.
Yeah. The chair happened.
The chair tilted very slightly. But in that moment, I was just like,
Well, you went to loads of scenarios, a little bit like what I do. I take people to those scenarios, but you actually went in your head, and it happens in seconds, doesn't it? Went to, what if she falls? What if she goes into labour? All those things happened in that, and that gave you the foresight to actually put something in place to make sure you could cover that. Yeah, brilliant. So especially if they're in Texas.
Right. So, I mean, that woman in particular, I do know where she lives.
Yeah.
Because I used to go to her house to train her. So worst comes to worst, that was okay. Yeah. But as soon as that happened, I spoke to my husband and I was like, right, I need to figure out a way to be compliant with all the government legislation, with everybody's privacy details, with everything, but protect myself at the same time.
Yeah.
And obviously protect my client too. So now what I do with people, if they haven't got a medical condition, I talk to them about it and I leave the choice with them.
Yeah.
But if they have got a medical condition, then I say, listen, you've got two options. I need somebody's phone number, and are they going to be in the house with you when we're training? Or I have to have your address in case I need to phone an ambulance.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, but you've got a really good reason for asking that, and you're covering them from all bases, but also covering yourself, aren't you? So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you know, I spoke to my other two pregnant women first. I literally, as soon as I finished that session, I phoned them. I was like, "Oh my God, I've just had this thought," and they both just laughed. Fortunately, one of them was actually a GP, and she's married to a GP.
Yeah.
So she just laughed.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not an impossible situation. It can easily happen. And what would I do? There's nothing I could do.
You've just got to be covered, haven't you? And there are certain things that I can and can't do, and you're quite right. And that is, you just got to. We can only do the best we can, but cover ourselves in the best way possible. I mean, I still make sure, even though I'm online, that the form that they fill in if they came to see me, I still do that form and get all that information. So I have got their details, but not necessarily for the reasons that you just said, but actually I'd be able to do something. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, interesting.
You know, it could be someone who's completely fit and able. Oh, sorry. It could be somebody who's completely fit and able, but they slip, they misstep.
Accidents happen, don't they?
Because it's easily done.
Yeah, accidents happen. Yeah, absolutely. Well, so what is your, I don't know how to put this. What's your overall vision for your business? What do you want out of your business? Where do you see it going? Are you happy to keep it as it is, or do you want to grow it? And if you want to grow it, how do you want to grow it? What? Tell me about that.
Well, the intention was to go online eventually anyway.
Okay.
So if me and my husband decide to have kids, which we probably will, how am I going to run a physical business like personal training in a gym?
Yeah.
I can't.
Good point. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to turn around, because I'm not this person. I'm not going to turn around to my client and go, oh, by the way, can you wait 9 months for me?
Yeah.
Can you just wait 9 months and then I'll come back, and then I might go and have another one.
Yeah.
You just don't know, do you?
No.
Where online I can be pregnant and no one will care.
Yeah. And this is another. So actually, what happened last year for you gave you a bit of a kick to go actually get moving on it now.
Yeah,
good reason to do it.
Yeah, it was. Do you know what? It was a blessing, to be honest, for me. I know a lot of people have struggled, and obviously a lot of people have been really ill and stuff. But for me, it ended up being a really good thing for my business. It's grown my business so much.
And it showed you possibilities, Natalie. Did it show? It showed you what those possibilities are.
Yeah, for sure, and it allowed me to kind of grow in ways that I would never have even considered before.
Yeah.
And now I can just say to people who are local to me, I'm going, look, I'm part of a gym. Do you want to go to the gym? Yes or no? But big visions for my business is online personal training, but scale it right down eventually. I've got my online fitness academy now, which is brilliant. So that's always going to be there, and it's always going to not need my full attention, because that's not what it's not one-to-one coaching, it's a one-to-many model.
Tell me about that then. Tell us a bit more about that, Natalie.
So the online fitness academy is for people who don't want or don't necessarily need one-to-one coaching, but they want something.
Okay.
They're just not sure. Maybe they're not sure what. You know, people who want to get better with food, they'll go to Weight Watchers or Slimming World. They won't necessarily want the diet, but they'll want the supportive community. People might join a running club, not because they necessarily want someone to run with, but they want the support, the community, and the accountability. And that's what the academy provides people. It provides people with a safe space to go in with people who they already have something in common with and go.
Okay. And do you charge like a monthly fee for that, or is it a one-off fee, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a monthly subscription.
So is the ideal thing on that then, Natalie, I would say, so say you've worked with someone one-to-one and they're sort of on the right track, to then start to say, well, look, you know, you can take a step back, but to get the continued support, join the academy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sort of an ideal model, really, isn't it? I suppose.
Absolutely.
They already know you. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I get a lot of people who have one-to-one personal training, and they want to increase it to 2 sessions a week, but they can't afford it.
Yeah.
Like, well, why don't you join the academy?
Yeah. So in that, have you got like classes and things that like videos and that you've already done that are in there, or how does that work?
So with the academy, you've got a fitness section, which is workouts, tutorials, technique videos. So I would say 95% of people who come to me have no idea how bad their technique is with stuff. No idea. So the first 2 or 3 hours is spent on correcting technique. Okay.
Yeah. And these are videos. So once you've done the videos once, you just did the videos and then?
So the videos are in there, and all you do is, I don't know, maybe you're squatting and it's hurting your knee. Go in, you have a look at the video, you listen to the teaching points, correct your form. You don't have any knee pain anymore.
Excellent. Yeah, see, that's a really, really good. And that, so yeah, so if people are interested in that, obviously we'll put up your details afterwards and make sure people have got all the ways of contacting you if it's something that they're interested in. Yeah, so this might be a little well, sorry, did I interrupt you then?
Yeah, so you've got the fitness section, you've got a nutrition section. So a lot of people, when it comes to nutrition, they'll come to me and they'll go, can you just do me a meal plan? Can you just do me a diet plan? No, I can't. I don't know what I want to eat on a daily basis. How am I supposed to guess what you want to eat? And if you don't want to eat it, you're not going to stick to it.
Yeah.
Like, I get up in the morning and I'm like, what do I fancy for breakfast? That's a normal reaction.
Yeah.
So if I don't know what I'm going to want, how am I supposed to know what you're going to want? So this is the reason, in my opinion, that the majority of diets fail.
Yeah, I totally agree.
They're not sustainable. You can force yourself to eat what you don't want every now and again, but for long term, it's not good.
No.
It's not a healthy relationship with food either. So I don't tell you what to eat. You can eat what you want. I don't ban any foods whatsoever. All I do is I educate you on the science behind how food works. Mm. So there's an information sheet in there about calories, what are calories, and why you should create a calorie deficit or a calorie surplus or be on calorie maintenance. There's a macro breakdown. When people talk about macronutrients, what are they? What does it mean? Why are they important? Why do people count them? Then there's a micronutrient information sheet in there. There's a calorie calculator to go, this is how you work out your maintenance calories, and this is how you work out your deficit calories. This is how you work out your surplus calories. So all that information is in there but then there are recipes in there as well, and the recipes have got macro breakdowns. So if you are following a formula, which you should be following a formula if you have a goal, no matter what your goal is, you can just go in there and you can go, that fits my calories, that fits my macros, I'll eat that.
So they can put it together. So I'll tell you a little funny story, Natalie. The funny thing is when you're a mom, and I said this, so funny how things happen, isn't it? That as a mom, when my kids were younger, and you say I'd be going off to work in the morning, they'd be going off, take them to school or whatever. If somebody dared say to me first thing in the morning, "What's for tea?" it would be, that would set me off I'd be in a bad mood all day, because I'd be like, what? I'd go mental, because I'm like, I can't even think what I've just had for breakfast. I can't even think about lunch, never mind tea. So it is the one thing that sort of drives you nuts, you know what I mean? So I find that quite an interesting one. But so if you'd go on, sorry.
Absolutely. And, you know, within the academy, there's also goal setting worksheets in there. There's live stretch classes on there. There's mobility stuff in there. So I get a lot of people come to me and they're so stiff for many, many reasons. Maybe it's just simply their age and the fact that they've never exercised before.
Yeah.
Maybe they're only with me for nutrition, but they just want to feel a little bit looser. So there's a lot of mobility stuff in there where people can just click the button and go, oh, it's a 2-minute video. This will loosen up my shoulders. Happy days.
Yeah. And that's brilliant. It's good to know that some of the stuff that's in it. So that's really good. So if you could, if I could ask you one thing. So before you start, if you could have one thing that you wish you'd known before you started, what would it be?
Oh.
Or
am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, you can swear.
I'll try not to swear. I wish someone had told me how much working with people would piss me off. Because of how unreliable people are.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not like people messaging you or people calling you and saying, can you fit me in? Can you do this for me? Can you do it? And then never turn you up. Things like that wind me up so much.
Recognise that people aren't as reliable as you, or don't, like, you wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't have dreamed of us doing this and not just ignoring you. I mean, if I ever did something like that to someone, it would be because there's something seriously wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, but other people, you are right. Other people, you're not in control of what other people do. And I used to be a senior manager, funny enough, Natalie, and I always said one of the things that drove it, if it wasn't for the, sounds awful, but if it wasn't for the staff, I'd have been all right. But actually, it was the staff issues, because they came to you with everything. And I remember helping a HR, she was senior HR advisor. And she said, I just remember sat in a meeting one day and they were complaining about sausages. I was thinking, there's so many more important things in the world. Why are you talking about sausages? But it's what's important to that person at the time, isn't it? But you and people don't realise. So as your own business, I'm like in that senior manager position where you've got to be everything to everyone. And yeah, you're quite right. So what's next for you then, Natalie? What's your big thing that you're working on next?
The academy's only just launched, so
right.
It's just about getting the word out about that, and just saying it is a do-it-yourself model. But if for some reason you don't want one-to-one coaching, then there's an option for you. I mean, how many people now go onto YouTube or have a fitness app on their phone? Mm-hmm. What I'm doing is exactly the same, only it's a whole package rather than just fitness or just food. It's exactly the same. And the platform I use comes with an app as well. So if you want an app, I've got an app for it.
Yeah, brilliant. That's excellent. And so, I mean, we will put the details in later, but just so everybody knows, what is the best way for people, because I've tried to ask the questions that people will want to know, but for people to find out a little bit more about you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Probably LinkedIn, to be honest.
Okay.
So my LinkedIn profile has got a lot of information on it. I've got a LinkedIn company page as well, and it's got all the ways that you can work with me. I'm I'm all over social media, to be honest. So if you want to, and I don't hide anything. There's no holds barred with me.
Have you got your own website, Natalie?
I have got my own website. I can link that for you.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, so if you got sort of, that might be a thought of your website, if it's got all the details on it or the signpost to where else to go, then that might be.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. We can link it into this.
But what we'll do is, when we'll post this one up, and we'll put them in the comments, put all your contact, all the different ways people can contact you, and what's the easiest way, and for that, because you can make sense of that. And I do know, as time goes on, because I'm in the process of just building a new website, so my website address that everybody's got, I'll keep that there, but this, because I'm diversifying as well, and sometimes you change, don't you, after a few years?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I've just started writing blogs. I've literally today released my second ever blog today.
Well done. And what do you put that on your website?
That's on my website.
On your website, brilliant. Excellent.
Yeah, definitely. So, and I had one of my clients on a networking call with me, and you know her, Simone.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
And she said, on this networking call, she said, I love working with Natalie. She doesn't make me run, and she lets me eat nachos.
Which is great, isn't it?
So for me, I'm very different in the respect of, I don't make you do anything, and I let you pretty much have what you want. I just educate you in how it's going to affect you and your goal. Yeah. And then I allow you to incorporate it in a way that it doesn't feel like you're missing out. Yeah. So, if you're a drinker and you want to have a drink every week, right? Okay, let's see how we can fit that into your goal. Yeah. I don't ask you to cut anything out. And I think another thing that makes me quite unique is every single week, I aim to celebrate a win with my clients every week. So everybody knows that fitness in any form is a long game. Yeah. And it is. It's about consistency over a very long period of time. Everybody knows that. So to make that a little bit more motivational for everybody, I try and get everybody to a place where they can celebrate a win, a result, an achievement every single week. Yeah. And it does keep people on track.
Yeah, I totally agree. And obviously, you know what I do. And the thing is, I would 100% agree with, and as you know, I help people with their mindset with weight loss. And the truth is, I do exactly the same, in the sense, you'll never hear me say you can't have that and you can't have that and can't have that, because that's your choice, not mine. If you say to a smoker you can't have a cigarette, trust me, they'll want a cigarette. Yeah. So you are quite right to use it on that. And I always say, so there are some, you've got to fit something. So even if it's not weight, if it's something else I'm dealing with, it's got to fit around them and their lifestyle. So I'm spending a lot of time getting to know the person who's in front of me, because just because, I don't know, Doris is in front of me who's got 3 kids, and Frida's in front of me who's got 3 kids, doesn't mean they've got the same lifestyle.
They definitely don't.
Absolutely not. So Natalie, so what's your business called?
I'm NH Personal Training.
NH Personal Training. So thank you very much for your time today, Natalie.
Thank you.
It's been wonderful to have you and to find out a bit more about you. And what I'll do is I'll turn off the recording now so that we can have a chat.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.